Um, Hello everyone. You're all welcome to this webinar, and it's a pleasure to welcome every one of us here. The webinar on how to secure fully funded graduate scholarship in Canada. Before we proceed, I just want to mention some rules we should observe in this session, so as to gain the best from it. Please make sure that when you are not speaking, when you are not asking questions, to keep muted, so as to avoid distractions. And also, please, if you are able to put on your video, that is fine. And if you are not able, that is fine too. But it will be good if you're able to put on your video. And also, for our sake, we should, or for our friends' sake, we should remind them of this session for them to join us so that they can also benefit from this session. So I'm going to introduce our speakers for today, and we are privileged to have two of our speakers, or two speakers rather, and that is Antonia Njoku, who is a student at Polytechnic Montreal, Canada, and we are privileged to also have Felicia Ojo, University of British Columbia, Canada. So I'm going to read their profiles before I call upon them each to make their presentation. I'm going to start with Felicia Ojo. Felicia Ojo is a sustainable development advocate and a first-class graduate in agricultural extension with experience in climate-smart agriculture and data analysis. Currently, is pursuing Master of International Forestry at the University of British Columbia. He looks forward to contributing to efforts that mitigate global environmental issues such as climate change, water cycle disruption, biodiversity loss, deforestation, among others. You can react to this by using the reactions on the screen. You can just go to the down part of your screen. You can use any reaction you prefer. As I mentioned these people and read their profile. So I'm going to also introduce Antonia Njoku. Antonia Ujoku. Antonia Ujoku is a second-year PhD student in software engineering at Polytechnic Montreal, Canada. Her research focuses on understanding the interactions between developers and AI agents to better improve developer experience while performing software engineering tasks. She was a recipient of the Mastercard Foundation Scholarship at the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, AIMS, Cameroon, where she obtained a Master of Mathematics in Data Science degree. Can we show some reactions for Antonia Njoku? From these profiles I've read, you would have been aware that the people we are having on board here to discuss with us, they are people who have good profile and they want to share with us from their wealth of experience. So before I yield it over to Felicia Ojo to start with his talk and to talk to us, I would want you to make sure that if you have any question, feel free to type it in the chat box if you have question, so that after their sessions, we could call upon them to help us answer those questions. So in the meantime, while they are presenting, kindly ensure you type, if you have questions, type your questions in the chat box. So thank you very much. I hand over to Felicia Ojo to take it up. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, presenter. I really appreciate. Thank you for that wonderful. Wow. Before I hit the ground running, I would just like to appreciate Professor Awe and Dr. Mrs. Awe for extending this opportunity, just so I could be a blessing to prospective applicants. And I do hope that you all will make headways by God's grace. Thank you. So I'd like to share my screen. Can you see my screen at the moment?
Not yet.
Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Good. So I'll start off by saying that one of the major trusts for success is to have a strong why. If you want to make headways in life, you want to succeed, you want to achieve your set goals, set ambitions, then you need to define why do you want to achieve your set goal. Once you're able to achieve that, that will serve as your primary motivation. And in no time, you will achieve your set ambitions. Most times, when you set goals, it always seems impossible. But in the end, you'll be surprised you eventually achieve your set goals and your set ambitions. So today, I'm going to walk you through scholarship opportunities in Canada. And I want to mention that if you have questions, do well to note them. You'll be allowed to ask your question at the end of the section. So, the webinar overview. During the course of this session, I'll be covering why you'd like to pick up a study in Canada, understanding scholarship types. There are a lot of scholarship opportunities that we have. Also, I will also tell you about fully funded opportunities. There could be partial funding opportunity as well as fully funded. So you get to know the difference between the two, as well as how to secure the funding as well. The process of application, how to write winning SOPs, and of course, common mistakes that you need to avoid. It's not enough to plan, it's not enough to strategize. You need to watch out for loopholes, issues, deficiencies that could incapacitate or limit your application process, your application process. So Canada, why do you choose Canada? First off, I want to mention that Canada has world-class institutions. I mean, I'm privileged to be under the supervision of Terry Sunderland. I don't know if you know Terry Sunderland. He's currently one of the renowned researchers in the world when it comes to forestry, agroforestry, climate change mitigation, among others. So when you choose Canada, you can be sure that you will be mentored by world-class researchers. I mean, researchers that have acquired expertise in their field of studies. Also, the environment is serene, of course. The landscape is breathtaking, to be honest. When I transitioned to Canada and comparing it to where I traveled from, I was surprised, greatly surprised. You need to see the landscape, you need to see the beauty. I mean, nature is really beautiful, and I'm sure you enjoy it when you come over here as well. Then you have availability of funding opportunities. You have lots of opportunities to enjoy, fully funded opportunities, opportunities that covers for your visa, that covers your passport application processes, caters for your accommodation, your stipends, among others. And yeah, this is another catch. When you apply to Canada, you have the opportunity of getting your PR. Your PR, you have different categories of citizens. There are temporary residents, there are permanent residents. So if you apply to Canada at the end of your program, you have the ability to apply for, you're allowed to apply for your permanent residency. And that means you're on your path to becoming a citizen of Canada. Other countries rarely do that. If you go to US as we speak, you know the trauma that is attached to getting a visa in the US. So if you choose Canada, as you're graduating, you have the opportunity of applying for postgraduate work permits, and that is for like 3 years. After your postgraduate work permit, you're also allowed to apply for your PR, and you can stay here for as long as you want. It also our researchers in Canada focus on sustainability, innovation, and problem solving. So types of scholarship. There are different types of scholarships. And to be precise, there are fully funded scholarships. There are also partial funded. There are also partial scholarships as well. For full scholarships, there are lots of them. You have MasterCards. I'm privileged by God's grace to be a MasterCard scholar. Currently, I'm at UBC because I won the MasterCard scholarship, and yeah, they sponsor the whole process, the program, the visa, and whatnot. So the fully funded scholarship covers your tuition, covers for your accommodation, gives you monthly stipends. It also covers for your visa application, your passport application, among other expenses. However, the partial funding might cover for your tuition fee. It might also cover for your monthly stipends, but your accommodation and some other things might not be taken care of. But then you will have access to tuition fee, stipends, among others. But then, take for example, if you're expected to pay like 10,000 CAD, I mean $10,000, for example, the partial funding might cover like half, might pay like 5,000 CAD, $5,000, I mean, and you'll be the one to complement the payment. You complete the payment. Do you get? So that's partial funding. And also, various departments usually have funding opportunities. And if you take conscious effort to reach out to potential advisors in various departments, you might be lucky to be selected, and you have access to departmental funding. Also, another route you could explore is research and graduate assistantship. This route, you have the opportunity to work in an advisor's lab. You work in their lab, they tell you, oh, do this, do that. You have a research topic you're working on, or you work as a teaching assistant. So for top fully scholarships in Canada, there are lots of opportunities in Canada. This is just few out of many. But then the major ones I've listed on this slide. Number one is MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program. If you want stress-free application, to be honest, go for this. And I tell you, if you need help, yeah, I'll be able to I look forward to providing help for as many that look forward to getting the scholarship. By the way, for MasterCard Scholarship Program at UBC, we only have 3 faculties. That is science, faculty of science, there's faculty of forestry, and there's faculty of land and water systems. So if you fall within that category, I'll be willing. And yeah, I look forward to helping you with your application. Regardless of your class of degree, some people will tell you, oh, if you don't have first class, you'll not be able to get the scholarship and so on and so forth. I've seen guys that they graduated with second class upper, and they are here as well. So it's not all about your class of degree. That's why I'm happy you are here on this webinar. And to be honest, I will share some other tips on the other slides that will help your application as well. So if you look forward to applying for this particular scholars program, application for next year has closed. People that will be resuming next year have started their application. The cycle started a few weeks ago, and I think currently they're on the second phase of the application process. However, if you look forward to applying for next year's cycle, I can guide you through the process. Just reach out and I'll be willing to offer help on how to secure the program. By the way, for Faculty of Science, there is data science, there is we have data science. I think data science is the only data science. Then for there's data science, there's master for food science. Also there's master for food resource and economics. That's for Faculty of Science. Then for Faculty of Forestry, there's Master of International Forestry, Master of Sustainable Forest Management. Then there is Master of Geomatic and Environmental Management and whatnot. Just reach out and I'll be willing to offer help in that regard. Then for Maggie, there's MasterCard Scholarship Program in another province. There are 10 provinces in Canada. And for British Columbia, MasterCard has scholarship. They have the scholarship program at UBC. But for Maggie, the scholarship program is in Montreal. So if you need help, I can also provide as well. Then for Venia Canada Graduate Scholarship, it's basically for PhD candidates. So if you look forward to applying for your direct PhD, you feel you meet up with the eligibility criteria, why not apply? Just give you the attempt, and I'm sure it will turn out fine. Then the Commonwealth Scholarship, there's Commonwealth Scholarship in Canada as well. Make effort to apply, and if you need help, you can reach out as well. I have a few folks that applied for Commonwealth Scholarship and they were shortlisted. Mayowa, for example. I have a friend I've forgotten her name now. Like we finished from the same faculty back in Nigeria. We attended Federal University of Technology together, and currently she's a Commonwealth scholar as well. Then Queen Elizabeth Scholarship as well, and as well as the foundation scholarship as well. So just reach out if you need help, and yeah, you'll be guided as appropriate. So for department and university funding, I've said I think I've covered a little on this in the previous slide, but then let me just rush through it. So universities often offer specific number of applicants for internal scholarships. I mean, people, that's why you need to reach out to people. I'm happy Prof organized this particular webinar. To be honest, you are in a safe end and you definitely achieve your set goals, your set ambition. Don't forget where we started from. One of the strong trusts for success is to have a strong why. When you have a strong why do you want to pursue your postgraduate? Why do you want to pursue your postgraduate study? Once you're able to map out your plans and you're able to define that, to be honest, you're on the path to greatness. So define your goal, define your motivation, your primary motive, your primary agenda, and I can assure you that, yeah, you'll achieve what you look forward to achieving. So for UBC, for example, has 4-year doctoral fellowship. University of Alberta, they have graduate entrance scholarship and Toronto graduate fellowship as well. So all this, they are departmental funding. If you look forward to applying to a lot of them, it's just connecting with one person to another person, and in the end, you get to achieve your set goals and ambitions. Also, there are research-based programs. Research-based program, it could either be a research assistantship or teaching assistantship. For research assistantship, you're busy, you have your instructor will probably give you a research topic to work on in the lab. And so you begin to work, carry out your research, you go to the field to collect your data, and so on and so forth. But for teaching assistantship, you probably support your instructor with some of his teaching activities and so on and so forth. So be also able to contact potential supervisors before applying. This is key. Before I got this opportunity, I'd applied to, I think, 5 schools. What I did, there's something we call code email. What you do with code email, you just write statement of purpose, you attach your resume, the transcript, as well as maybe your certificate if you want to, but it's not a major criteria. Just include your SOP, the transcript, and your resume. Then you have your cover letter suffice as your statement of purpose. So just go ahead. Then you identify potential advisor in that regard. So how to find and apply? It's very simple, right? But then, to be honest, you need to be disciplined to achieve this. You need time, you need diligence, you need consistency, and you need to be resilient. Otherwise, you just give up in no time. So that's why before you start, why do you want to pursue postgraduate study? That needs to be defined. Once you have defined that, that will motivate you. You will not look at the challenges, you will not look at the difficulties. You set your mind at achieving that particular goal. So you need to identify your prospective fits and your preferred universities. If you want to go to US, fine. But then Canada, for example, you don't have stress. Just identify the school. I have a friend that traveled to he came to Canada as well. I think at the same time I traveled. He's currently in another province running his research-based master's program. So there are a lot of opportunities. Just identify the school you want to apply to, send code email to the advisor, and in the end, you'll be happy. You'll be surprised at what you get in the end. So search funding options on the university website. You can leverage on Google. Google is a search engine. Just type funding opportunities in Canada. You can search by province. There are 10 provinces, like I said earlier. You can ask Google, oh, how many provinces do we have in Canada? Okay, we have so top provinces. There's Alberta, there's Manitoba, there's Ontario, there's Saskatchewan, there's BC, British Columbia, and so on and so forth. So by the time you tailor your search and you also attach the specific program you want to attend, I tell you, in no time, the list will pop up and you begin to send quotes mail if you want to explore teaching assistantship routes, or if it's scholarship, the ones I mentioned earlier, you then apply for the scholarship. So I'll say talk about that in the next slide. However, let me mention it briefly here. You need to prepare strong academic document. This process, postgraduate school is not for a lazy man. You need to double up. You need to tighten your belt. It takes diligence. I spoke with a friend, she applied to North Carolina. She was,
Latif, can you please keep mute?
so she applied to North Carolina and she was denied. So when she showed me a spreadsheet, she showed me a spreadsheet of schools. She showed me, I was surprised, over 100 schools. I said, God, this is really massive. Over 100 schools with different names of professors and their emails, prospective programs the individual looks forward to studying, as well as their contact address. So you need to prepare your documents. If you need help, you can reach out as well. Prof, I know, definitely such a kind-hearted person. So reach out for help if you need help, and we'll be willing to help. So to craft your SOP, you don't just sit down and say, okay, this and this. You look for a problem that you want to solve. You probably look at a research topic that is related to your instructors, potential advisor, potential supervisors, an individual you want to work in their lab. Oh, then you tailor your SOP in that regard. Or you have identified a problem in your community, you've identified a problem in your country that you look forward to solving. So you then tailor your statement of purpose in that regard. And of course, your transcript is key. Then you update your CV. CV, if you want to write your CV is very important. It's an important document in the application process. You need to There's a pattern you need to follow. You start with your educational background, your research experience, your certifications, your trainings, and so on and so forth. There's a format that you need to follow. You don't just put, for example, now volunteering after your educational background. That's wrong. You follow a particular pattern, and if you need help, do what to reach out. Then your references. Some persons make mistake when it comes to referencing. They use their recommender's personal email. However, you're supposed to use their institutional email. Take, for example, if you finish from OAU and you know that somebody from OAU, a lecturer in OAU, wants to write a reference letter for you, you're expected to use their institutional email. It must bear oau.edu.ng. It should not just be that you just pick a email, a personal email. So it should be that it must be their institutional email. It must show the name of the school and apply early. I want to say categorically that if you look forward to applying for next session, by now your application, you should have submitted your application, to be honest. On the other hand, it's not too late. Start your search, and I fear you, in the end, you will get all that you look forward to having. So start early, at least 6 to 12 months before intended program. This is real, to be honest. Start early. I remember last year, I started my application process as way back as, I think, March
I
2024.
just changed it from my trip.
Please start
That's why I think maybe like
early. Don't wait until the application process is few months away or few weeks away. Start early. In fact, if you want to explore the assistantship route, by now, individual instructors will have selected their students by now, because you have lots and lots of people reaching out. I spoke with a friend in University of Pennsylvania. He told me that the instructor got like 800 applicants, and I'm like, wow, that's really much. 800 applicants. So imagine if you're going to compete with such individual. Imagine if you're going to compete. They have undergraduate students that finish from their programs. I want to transition into postgraduate study, and these are the same set of persons you want to compete with. So if you want to compete, it means you should take advantage of time
that there is no
and
time. They should round
run
up that
ahead
thing.
of them. And another important fact I want to mention is network with current or past scholars. You don't, if there's a saying that if you stand on the shoulder of a giant, you're able to see farther and you travel faster, right? So leverage on network connections. I'm happy Paul brought up this webinar, right? It's such a great opportunity for people to network as well. So network, connect with people, reach out to people. Don't keep things to yourself. You need help, speak out. Options, the help you need is in the hand of somebody. Just speak out. Oh, I need help with this, I need help with that. And in no time, you'll be connected and you have opportunity to also be a scholar as well. So please connect, network, ask people, check LinkedIn. Oh, you want to get Mastercard scholarship? Check individuals that also have been a scholar as well. Reach out to them, send them a message, and before you know it, you will as well be a scholar. So use scholarship. There are lots of websites, and you can as well make do with universities pages. Leverage on that as well. Then stay consistent and persistent. Please don't give up. I submitted 5 applications, and out of the 5 applications, North Carolina did not recommend my application. Maryland gave me admission, but there was no funding. But if you apply to more than 1 or 2 schools, to be honest, there's a likelihood that you'll be selected probably in a particular school and you get rejected in others. So that's why you stay consistent. You not just apply to one school or apply for a scholarship. You apply to as many as possible. And most importantly, there's a way you get application fee waiver. You can write the department or the program coordinator to get application fee waiver so that you don't have to begin to pay $100 for each application. That's going to be huge comparing the exchange rate as we speak. Exchange rate, if you're paying 100 card, for example, that's like 110,000 naira in Nigerian currency. So where do you want to get that amount of money, considering the current state of economy in Nigeria? So make effort to reach out to the program coordinator to get application fee waiver, or if you need help getting one, you can always provide guidance in that regard. Then one important thing before I round off, your story is another important part of the application process. Take, for example, for scholarships, to be precise now, scholarships. Scholarships want to see that you have demonstrated leadership prowess in time past, and they see that, oh, you have potentials to lead, or you are able to give back to the community, or you've been involved in several community engagement activities. So they want to see, oh, if you give this person this opportunity to come and study, will he be ready to give back to the community? Will he be ready to give back to the society? So they want to see, oh, what have you done in time past that will qualify you for this opportunity? That's what scholarship basically base their metrics, their eligibility criteria on. So once you're able to demonstrate that, oh, I have done this in time past, and as a result of this activity, I can do this, and I'm ready to give back to the community, to the society, they'll be willing to bring you on board. Take, for example, you've identified deforestation for agriculture in your community, or you've noticed climate change is a big issue as we speak in the world, in Nigeria, and across over the globe. So you're saying that, oh, I look forward to providing solution to climate change. Oh, how have you been able to solve that problem? Oh, I've been able to organize campaigns in my local community to young minds. I've done this, I've done that. Oh, deforestation is a major issue. Have you been able to solve that? So they want to see how you've engaged previously and your ability to give back to the system. So those are the factors they want to look at. And in the end, you'll be happy you apply. And I tell you, schooling abroad, schooling is cool, it's nice. The experience is fascinating. And to be honest, everybody has what it takes to be here. Only if we stay consistent and we stay resilient. It always seems impossible, as I round off now, it always seems impossible until it is done. And don't forget where we started from. One of the strong trusts for success is to have a strong why. If you have a strong why do you want to do this? You will stay motivated, irrespective of the challenges, irrespective of rejection, and you'll be happy in the end that you applied to Canada. Canada is cool. Canada is beautiful. It's serene. It's welcoming, and you'll enjoy your stay here. Thank you very much. I'll now hand over to the moderator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Folusho. I personally have I got some clues from your presentation. Thank you for sharing those insights with us. And without much ado, I'm going to call on our second speakers. Please, if you have questions, keep your questions noted, or you could put it in the chat, and we'll be glad to take it after they have spoken. And later as well, you'll be given opportunity if you want to unmute to ask your question. But before then, I want to sit over to Anthony Njoku, who is a second-year PhD student at Polytechnic Montreal, Canada. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Antonia.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Antonia Njoku, like has already been said, and I'm very excited to be here. I don't know if Prof is on the call. Thank you very much, Prof Olawale, for inviting me to share my experience with everyone here. It's really a pleasure. I'm going to share my screen now. I guess I have permission to. Yeah, okay, I do. Please let me know when we can see my screen.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Is it good now?
Still, okay, yes.
Okay,
Can see it.
thank you. So, my colleague, the co-presenter, has already said the technicalities of Canada. He made some valid points, and I really like his approach. So he has talked about Canada. Of course, I think many of us here are maybe Africans. From the names I see, I think even many of us are Nigerians, and the difference in the landscape. He has also mentioned why you should apply for a graduate program, and he has run us through a number of steps to take and a number of scholarships also. There's so many, to be honest. So I'm just going to go on the less technical and more personal side. I'm just going to give like a brief story, because I think people usually say that if you, I can't remember how they usually put it, but something like if you're poor or like you don't have so much money, use the little money you have to get experience, right? Because when you get experience, when you can see, maybe you go to that restaurant where it's normally going to be would have been expensive for you to eat in that restaurant, but you're eating there because you want to remind yourself and rewire your brain to know that, oh, this is the kind of place I should be. And you don't have so much money, but you want to take that travel because you want your brain to remind itself that, oh, you can also travel. Travel is good for you. And all of those things can eventually make you like work hard to get the wealth that you deserve. So that's kind of like the approach I'm going to use. I'm just going to give you guys a peek into my life, and so that you can then begin to dream, see that, okay, these things are actually possible. And that's why I titled this presentation, The Journey to a Fully Funded PhD Scholarship. Yeah, okay, so from my foundation, basically, I attended University of Benin and I studied industrial mathematics. One thing I already knew from time, apart from the fact that I applied for mathematics because I like mathematics, I already just knew that if I'm in school, I'm going to do well. Like you're in school, just do well. So it's kind of graduating with a high GPA. I think he already mentioned that it doesn't necessarily need to be a first class. To be honest with you, if you can make a first class, please by all means do. Mine was not a first class, but it's high enough. And I put like a reason, one of the main reasons why your grade is important, because people say like, oh, school is scam and all of those things. I feel like if you're a business person or if you're a creative, like even me, people say that, oh, do a day in your life, like try to do content. To be honest, it's very difficult for me. I feel like if you are maybe a creative or whatever, and maybe you don't really want to do academia, it's okay. But I would think that if maybe God has helped you and you are somewhere academically, just put in your efforts, just try and try to graduate well. So I don't really know like the range of people on this call, and that's why I started from my foundation. If you're already past the undergraduate stage, you can't kill yourself, it's fine. So I'm just saying because there might be like final year students, 300 level students on this call, and might be saying, oh, what's the need? I feel like you should put in effort because your grade basically you don't know these people you're applying to. Your grade is one of the things, and like volunteering experiences, like you already mentioned, that kind of gives them some confidence in you and talks about your credibility. So yeah, I graduated with a 4.05, and this kind of made me ready to apply mentally for scholarships. And MasterCard, oh my God, MasterCard has helped like a lot of people. I didn't even know that he was a MasterCard scholar. So I was a MasterCard scholar myself. And I applied for the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences in Cameroon. I actually applied for AIMS, like generally, but I got into the one in Cameroon, a very like this, I think all of AIM centers anyways are good. Now, prior to this time, to be honest, like you said, the deal is in the numbers. I applied to so many places for my master's program, and some of them I feel like you may have seen, especially like in the UK. Some of them give you this I think what do they call it? Partial scholarships. So, and I'd already like, oh, that they have, and it's like, oh, I don't have any extra money for you. So if you know that you don't have like money for partial or full, um, should I say partial or full like school fees, just leverage on scholarships. So I applied for different programs and thankfully I got into AIMS. And yeah, this was like my first opportunity. And one thing I kind of did for myself was at the beginning or maybe during like my program, I kind of structured myself to get every opportunity. Oh, one very good thing about AIMS is that AIMS has this, we are very family oriented. So there is this like mailing list where opportunities, they send opportunities like almost every day. So I just said anything that is not going to affect my academic calendar and anything that is not going to affect like me, my own learning, I'm going to try, I'm going to go for it. And because of that, I was able to attend this conference. Okay, not a conference, actually a workshop. So it was a funded workshop at AIMS Rwanda. I think I already mentioned AIMS has like different centers. You can check up on AIMS. So I attended this fully funded data workshop at AIMS Rwanda. And in this workshop, I met like a lot of AIMS alums and other people also that were not from AIMS but came to attend the program. And it was around this time that I met somebody, Jeremiah Fadwa. God bless him. He really helped me in my application to this internship, because when I did my master's, I was a co-op student. If you know co-op masters means that you're going to do like your master's program and a compulsory internship. So I was looking for like internships around, and I honestly knew that I didn't want to intern in Cameroon. So I was really trying like to get internship opportunities in other places. So around that time, I got shortlisted for like AIMS. There's this AIMS Ivado. I think I already mentioned that AIMS has a lot of opportunities. So AIMS Ivado is like a partnership between AIMS, the whole AIMS, and then the Ivado. Ivado is an organization in Canada here that is into research and all of that. So many of us were shortlisted for this, and then we had to go into I don't know if I should call it like a competition, but it was basically about you submitting a project proposal. And it's kind of coincided with the same time that I was in Rwanda. So talking to people, right, which is why I say strategic networking. It's not like you just met these people for 1 month. It's not like you're going to discuss like your life history with them. Network smartly. So I met this person and he helped me, kind of like put me through. I'd not done a proposal before. I was doing like my master's, which was not even a research master's. So his guidance really helped me, and I submitted this proposal, which was kind of like part of the competition. And thankfully, I got selected for AIMS Ivado internship in Canada. That was really what should I say started my journey here in Canada. And this internship was fully funded. You get assigned to a supervisor because it's a research internship. So that kind of like gave me the research experience that I didn't have from doing a course-based master's. So now my supervisor, um, so I don't know if I think every other person, yeah, because of course AIMS Ivado, we needed to discuss our projects. So I think every other person also had a project that got handed over to them. But for me particularly, the project that got handed over to me, in the space of 4 months. So usually in 4 months, you may or may not get like results in scientific experiments. But thankfully, I got exposed into like eye trackers and all of them. I did like data analysis for eye gaze data, and the results that we got made sense. After like the results and everything, my supervisor was like, "Oh, there is an opening like early research achievements for this ICSI. ICSI is I think International Conference of Software Engineering is one of like the biggest conferences in software engineering. Just like let's co-author this paper and let's submit the results that you've done. Besides, that's our part. If they it's a paper, they may or may not accept it, right? And thankfully, we co-authored this paper. I sent my results, and she even I was the first author because like I did the work and everything. So it was really good for my should I say my resume and everything. And this paper got accepted. And yeah, that was like one of the toolkits I had in terms of like research for me. So basically, just from this point, I'm like I said before, I'm just saying my story. Please try to get 1 or 2 things from it. So from this point, I just said that when you get in the door, try to make use of the opportunity that you've gotten. Now, it was just a 4 month internship, and to be very honest, it's very easy for you to come to Canada and forget yourself, right? But if you are a strategic planner, or if you remember like what you plan to do, I was still in my master's program, like I said, I was in a compulsory internship, so I couldn't even remain in Canada for one. But I already knew that leaving Canada without a plan, it's going to be very difficult to come back. Maybe not very difficult, but you're already here. Just try to like make your connections. And so what I did was to honestly tell my supervisor that I would like to continue with you, ma'am. When I'm through with my program, I would like to come back for my PhD. And that was her first year actually. So, and if you know like professors and all of these kind of things, they look for fundings a lot. They have to write grants and all of that. And so she was like, I honestly don't have funding, and I don't want to agree, and then you wouldn't have money like to work with me. You understand? And so I really understood, and I understood like I liked that she was being honest with me, but she was like, oh, let me know if you see a professor in like if you see a professor that I can talk to, let me know. I'll talk to them. I really like you. You work very well. I would put in a word for you. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't even know whether she would do it or not. Like I said, this was just 4 months, and it was not even at the fourth month, maybe like 3 months into. But I said, if she had said this, let me also do my part. I started like reaching out to people and talking to people. And I remember that I still remember the conversation. One of the seniors, like she was in maybe her fourth year of PhD then when I was in my internship, she was like, oh, my supervisor, that's her supervisor then, who is my supervisor now? She was like, oh, my supervisor has a lot of money. He always has so many students, write to him. And me, I was like, oh, what's the name of this person? I checked and I was like, oh, I know him. he's like very popular. So I cold emailed. Do I need to explain again? You already mentioned cold emailing. So basically, cold emailing is just like sending a message, an email to someone that you really don't know before. So for strategic purposes, for like businesses, deals, pitches, whatever. So for me, it was for a position. Now I sent this email to my supervisor, Professor Futsekom, and I told him that, okay, I've checked like your website and you've worked in this, and that, and me, I would like to work on this, and that. And I was like, oh, I already do research. In fact, I'm here on an internship with so. Like she already gave me kind of like an assurance that she would vouch for me. So I was like, oh, I'm already working with this person. I'm doing research and blah blah blah. I think I sent him my transcripts. I think so. I think we had our transcript. Then I wasn't through with school, but I think you could request for a transcript. So I think I sent that to him and all of that. And thankfully he responded and was like, oh, okay, you say you're already in poly here. So let me see you. We had like a physical interview. And after the interview, I don't really know how I said, but what I said, but he was like, okay, so apply. And I can't remember application process, but I think I had to put his name in the application, like, okay, this is my proposed supervisor. I think that was how it went. Anyway, so with that, I was able to leave Canada and I was like, okay, I've applied for a reasonable, like a legit thing. I think he already mentioned, to be honest with you, application is very expensive. So applying like, and it's good to apply everywhere, but when you apply with the confidence that somebody is already like, okay, put my name, you feel a little bit more relieved. Because of that, I did not say like I didn't apply to that place. I applied to like maybe three places with my money and then maybe two other places with vouchers. I think they call that thing vouchers. They usually come out around September, October. I don't really keep track of that anymore, but I think if you check, yeah, they come out like September, October. Like they do, it might be like in webinars or just online, or a school would just say today from this week to this week is our no application fee week. Please check out for those things and try to apply using like those free vouchers. Unless you have money, then you can keep using your own money to apply. But anyways, I applied to like other places. But yeah, leaving Canada with this conversation I already had with my supervisor kind of made me a little bit rested. And thankfully, it worked out because I know people that have talked to people anyways and it didn't work out. So I give glory to God that it worked out for me. Yeah, so basically with this, I would say that things that that works for me, I basically am I won't say I basically am, or should I say I try to be very intentional. Like if I'm somewhere, I try to plan out myself. Of course, everything does not work out the way you plan, but it's better that you have some plan than you don't have any at all. And then when I'm at the places I am, I try to do my work excellently. I try to make sure that when you remember the work I did for you, or when you think of me, you don't think of me as someone that does substandard things. You're like, okay, she did this thing very well. And then I may not reach out, I may not call, I may not do anything. But when it comes to being strategic, I think I try to reach out. I would talk to that person I know that can help me. I would, yeah, I would send you an email. I would be patient with you, but then I would give you like another message later that please help me to do this thing. I feel like if you know what you want, you should make the effort to try and get it. I'm not asking anybody to pester people, but I think that we're adults and you can understand where it becomes like a pestering. For example, now asking professors for um what's this called? Reference letters. It's not everybody that you just ask once that answers you because they're busy. So understanding that and still reaching out to them, saying, "Oh, this is like a kind reminder," I think that would help you. And then if there are people in your field, outside your field, that you think that can help you get something. And then also, my principal in secondary school used to say, "A closed mouth, a closed destiny." Like during that 1 month when I was in Rwanda, if I saw everybody there, people that are in like PhD and outside PhD, and I didn't make any mention of what I was going to do. I'll probably write like a half-assed proposal. But because I was able to like network and say things that are important and not just laugh with people that you just met, but no, okay, this is what I want and this is what I am applying for or I'm trying to do. Could you help me? So I think that all of those things, when we put them in place, they are very nice. So reach out to people strategically and highlight basically your research experience in alignment with their work. This is basically for code mailing now. Yeah, okay, so basically, like I said before, I don't really know like how many people, like the range of people here, but I'm thinking that like final year undergraduates and master students. So don't wait for when you are ready to apply for a PhD. I think you should start now to build a research portfolio. And by research portfolio, I mean like find out people that are working in the field that you want to work, except you don't really know where you want to work yet. But if you know like the area, the research interest, find out and try to like get a detailed list of these people. And also when you get a list of these people, try to reach out to them very early. For example, my supervisor, or rather my co-supervisor, because the woman, the lady I worked with, the prof I worked with during my internship, basically is co-supervising me now because she was like, oh, I really want to work with you, and now you have a supervisor that can fund you, so I'm ready to co-supervise. So she told me that she has like undergraduate students. I don't know if there are several, but I know of one, and this person is an undergraduate student, but this person is interested in research. He's very smart. That's him already trying to pave way, build his own research portfolio. So if it's something that you can do, I already also know somebody, my colleague in the lab, and she said, I was just asking her like, what was your pathway? How did you get here? She's Iranian. So she worked with her own lecturer back in her country, and her own lecturer kind of like had a connection with my supervisor. So the three of them worked on a paper as they work, because this is research, you connect with different people. She knew she didn't want to do like a PhD in her country. So after they were able to like publish that paper, or I think while they were still working on it, she reached out to my supervisor and said, oh, is your lab free? Now, of course, for him to agree, it means that she has been working well in that their units. This is her and two professors. So she probably was doing like the bulk of the work. So he had seen that, okay, this person can do it, do this thing, you understand? So I think that you can reach out to professors and tell them that I want to work on this your field. Maybe give me something to do and give me a project, or let me do the writing, or just tell me, let me help you with your data analysis if that's what you know. So yeah, I think that you should try to build your research portfolio before you need your research portfolio, because really I for me what I think is that research professors actually want this research portfolio. They want to know that you can do it, because it's all a gamble. They are giving us their money, like, okay, come and I'll pay you, come and do research for me. So they need to be able to see something, right? So I feel like if you want your chances to increase or you're being accepted, I feel like you should give them some sort of assurance on your own end. And that's like show them that, okay, I do research normally, or maybe I have publications, or I'm working on some projects. They're not completed, but I'm working on them. And then you can just like tell them, okay, this is the project I'm working on, this is the idea. Maybe not if it's an ongoing project, maybe not like your idea. So like you don't really know everybody, but then good enough ideas. And yeah, if it's maybe a course-based person, you can just tell them like the coursework that you do that can maybe help in one or two ways in their field. But I would really, 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 really advise that if you can start from small with like helping out in this research area or that research area, I think it's kind of like a bit better than just coursework. But yeah, coursework still does go a long way. Yeah, so finally, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm not giving like overly practical or technical steps. I'm just giving a personal experience. So I don't really know like everybody's religion or faith, but since it's a personal experience, I'm going to have to include this because this is very personal to me. So if you know the Bible, maybe you can check like Proverbs 16 verse 3 says, commit your work to the Lord and your thoughts will be established. Um, I don't know why I like this verse, but I think it's just in the simplicity of it, really, that if you pray, if you can tell God that, okay, this is my work, this is what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it, or I don't know like the steps I need to take. Says your thoughts will be established, basically like the plans, the patterns, the ideas, the people you need, who do you need to talk to, how do you need to tell them, it will be established. So throughout my journey from undergraduate up until this time in my PhD, this is something that I've done. I don't take like prayer on one side and working hard on the other side. I basically merge them together. And truly, like I would say, like in almost of in everything I presented, there are people that have made efforts. I don't even deny it at all and have not seen results. So God has really been helpful to me and faithful. Yeah, and this has basically just been my life story up until this time. I would hope that you've been able to get one or two things. I didn't really drop a lot of pointers, but yeah, thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you very much for for that. It's quite enlightening. Thank you for sharing your story. You will see that this webinar comes from different perspective. We thank Mr. Folusho for sharing his insights, and fortunately or coincidentally, both of them, they are MasterCard scholars. So it's a privilege to have scholars in this room, and I hope that someday you too, you will not, you'll be at the end of being a scholar. So just that should be a challenge to you, that if they could be scholars, you too, you could be scholars. And that is why it's good to have mentors. I believe in one way or the other, they have people who guided them, who assisted them, and now they are where they are. So please take a clue from this session that you should have somebody that you can link up with. And what you can do is that after this session, you could go to LinkedIn, search for their name, send them a connection request, introduce yourself to them. And I want to believe that they will be eager to have you. Am I right? Thank you very much. So please make sure you connect with them, reach out to them, ask them questions, and mind you, be respectful of their time as well. But we really appreciate the things you have shared with us. So I'm gonna take the so it's I realize that many people are not asking questions. However, what I would do is that I would I will ask few questions and then we'll take it up from there. So what I would just want to ask, which for the benefit of everyone, is that what is the major leverage that MasterCard has over direct application? Do you get my question? And anybody can take it. Any of our speakers.
I think I would allow him to take it because I would think that he's more of a MasterCard scholar than myself. The way that AIMS and MasterCard work together is different from the way that MasterCard generally does their own picking and application selections. But one thing I would know from discussing with like my fellow MasterCard scholars, by the way, I'm an alumni because my PhD is not MasterCard funded. Yeah, one major thing, to be honest, I feel like they have a lot of money. So their pay is really nice. MasterCard's pay is really nice compared to like this direct funding. Your department is a department. How much are they really going to give you? But yeah, MasterCard. But let's Mr. Folusho give you like a proper answer.
Thank you very much, Antonio. I really enjoyed your session. So for MasterCard, to be honest with you, if you want stress-free application, just win MasterCard scholarship. You are good to go. It covers stipends. You're entitled to monthly stipends. It covers your visa application, your passport application. If you apply for 10 years visa application, passport, international passport rather, they pay the entire fee. If you also get what else you also get? You get startup funds as you are resuming your education in Canada. They'll set you up, like give you a certain amount of money, and it's peak, let's be honest. Oh no, MasterCard is sweet. If you want stress-free application, they'll cover for your transport, your logistics, as you're traveling from one place to the other. Just document and be able to show that, oh, this is the receipt for whichever transaction you've made. They will pay you to your last kobo. Anything, you just get yourself inside and you're good to go. And although the application can be challenging, to be honest, because there are three phases. You first of all have to apply to MasterCard. MasterCard has to shortlist you first. So when you're done with MasterCard, you apply to your program at the faculty. So you still have to go through the screening at the faculty. So if you scale through MasterCard application phase, you still must meet up with the criteria, eligibility criteria in the program. So once you meet up and you're shortlisted, you still do video interview. Like you do an online interview where you begin to answer questions, right? On spot, they tell you to answer questions they get to ask. So yeah, it's pretty cool, to be honest. It's pretty cool. And they organize several events for you, like several workshops, just to train you and make sure you're up to what standard. To be honest, I can't say it all. You just have to taste it yourself. And yeah, I look forward to having persons on this call in the call too. Thank you.
Yeah, in addition
Thank
to
you.
that, sorry,
Okay.
at the time that I was a MasterCard scholar, I think it was only the two MasterCard Foundation presidents in that department. But I'm seeing that other people are going. So they usually have these Baobab summits and they pick the place in like an African country
Baba Summit.
and they pay for you to go. It's really cool, to be honest. If you want to be a MasterCard scholar, I would really like advice. Please go for it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry, just to add,
Okay.
should I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah, they take care of your health too, your health insurance. Do you have money for professional development? If you have international conference you want to attend, they get to fund everything. It's just sweet. I don't know. Like the few I remember at the moment are the ones I'm mentioning, right? Just bring yourself to Canada. That's all they need. Every other thing will be taken care of. Yeah.
Well, well. Thank you very much. From their response, appears there's a lot of packages involved, a lot of things involved to this Mastercard Foundation, and that should that should interest you. That should pique your interest to want to desire that. And but it appears that maybe the current application is closed. Am I right?
Yeah, it's closed. They started the application. I think they started last month, and they are currently in the second phase. So for next year, people that will be resuming next year, it's closed already.
Okay. Yeah, so just in case you want to apply for the next application cycle, you can start getting your materials ready and preparing ahead of time. And also, I want to appreciate Prof. Olawale Awe for this opportunity and this platform, this other global academic platform. I'm still gonna um, if Prof is chanced, I might call upon him to give us his parting words. But before then, I want to talk about Awesome Data Academy. And just permit me to share my screen. Um, so basically, if also Data Academy provides services, if you want to, so I would like to introduce first our prof, who is our leader. Professor Lawale Awe is the one in this picture. And so on the chart, if you check the chart, you can access the link there and look at the website and get some information about Awesome Data Academy. If you want to build your data skills and you need some training, and also maybe you want to build yourself in terms of research, you could as well reach out to us to this platform for assistance. So if you check the website, you will see some information there, the services and some other things that are there, and some courses you could register for. And so our prof, he has a lot of recognitions, and is here with Eric Vance. I guess that might be Eric Vance's office. He was there, and Prof has been. It was through Prof as well that I personally. It was through his mentorship and guidance that I was able to get my first publication. So at your own time, you could check our website and reach out if you have any question or any support you might need. That being said, I want to appreciate again our speakers for their time and for the insight they have shared with us. I don't know if Prof would like to talk to us. Okay, I got a message from him. Just hold on. Okay, so yeah, so he said greetings to you from him. So I'm just gonna deliver his message to you. So greetings to him from you. Thank you very much, everyone, for this this time to have you on board. And please ensure that if you have a question, you could maybe if you want to ask our speakers questions after this, you could reach out to them on LinkedIn to inquire from them. Other than that, we appreciate you. I don't know, before we finish finally, I want to ask if anyone ask any, or let me see, let me check the chat. Silent completion file. Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you everyone for your time. We appreciate your time and the how you've stayed behind. That being said, I'm gonna close this meeting. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.